5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year's! Every year at midnight on the last day of December, people gather together to welcome in the new year. These celebrations often extend late into the night and early New Year's morning. But what are they celebrating exactly? Today, let's learn about the stories, fun traditions, significance, and the history behind the celebrations. We will be analyzing one of the most exciting and universally celebrated holidays, New Year's. New Year's is actually a pretty remarkable holiday tradition. Celebrating the start of a new year is one of the few times when people all around the world celebrate together. No matter their country, culture, or language, people everywhere gather to say goodbye to the year that's ending and welcome in the one that's just beginning. But where did this tradition come from, and why do we celebrate it the way we do today? Since this video is all about New Year's, it would help to make sure that we understand what a year actually is. Did you know that we have not always agreed on what makes a year? Nowadays, people have decided to call a year the time it takes the Earth to complete an orbit around the Sun. This time is about 365 days, though it's actually a little bit longer. To make up for that little bit, we have a leap year every 4 years, which adds 1 day to February. But before we knew the Earth orbited the Sun, people still realized there was a pattern to the changing of the seasons. Some people, like in ancient China, decided to time the year by the moon. This is called a lunar calendar, and people in China still use it to decide when to celebrate Chinese New Year. In ancient Mesopotamia, which is modern-day Iraq, their year was timed using the vernal equinox. That usually happens around March 20th. The vernal equinox is also called the spring equinox. It is when the day and the night are both 12 hours long, which happens only twice a year, once in the spring equinox and once for the fall equinox. This happens because the Earth is not tilted towards either hemisphere on these days. The days begin to get longer in the northern hemisphere after the vernal equinox, as the seasons move out of winter and towards summer. You can understand why ancient people would have been excited and wanted to celebrate the lengthening of the days. One of the earliest recorded New Year's celebrations dates back to around 4,000 years ago in ancient Mesopotamia. The Babylonians held a 12-day festival called Akitu, during which they performed rituals, celebrated the renewal of life, and even crowned a new king. Across the pond, on the other side of the world, the ancient Mayan civilization also celebrated New Year's. The Maya used a complex calendar system which had 365 days divided into 18 months of 20 days each, plus an extra short month of 5 unlucky days called Wayeb. The new year typically began after the Wayeb period, and the specific timing varied depending on the region and time period. The Maya marked the new year with ceremonies, rituals, and offerings to honor their gods and ensure a prosperous year ahead. These events often included music, dancing, and feasting, as well as sacred rituals performed by priests. The celebration was tied to agricultural cycles and spiritual beliefs, reflecting the Maya's deep connection to nature and the cosmos. Let's move on to ancient Rome, where the calendar was originally aligned with the lunar cycle. The Roman calendar began in March, much like the Babylonian calendar. However, in 46 BCE, Julius Caesar introduced the Julian calendar, shifting the start of the year to January 1st. This change was significant because it aligned the calendar with the solar year and honored Janus, the Roman god of beginnings, transitions, and doorways. Janus was depicted with 2 faces, one looking to the past and the other to the future, a fitting symbol for the new year. That's where the month of January gets its name. The Gregorian calendar is the calendar most widely used today. It was introduced by Pope Gregory XIII in 1582 as a reform to the Julian calendar. The Julian calendar miscalculated the solar year by about 11 minutes, causing the dates of important events like Easter to drift over the centuries. To correct this, the Gregorian calendar adjusted the leap year system. Years divisible by 4 are leap years, except for years divisible by 100 unless also divisible by 400. The reform also skipped 10 days in October in 1582 to realign the calendar with the seasons. Initially adopted by Catholic Catholic countries like Spain, Italy, and Portugal, it gradually spread worldwide, though some countries transitioned much later, such as England in 1752 and Russia not until 1918. The Gregorian calendar remains a key tool for organizing time globally. Now let's jump to modern times. Now we celebrate New Year's Eve on the 31st of December. Many people will go to a party of some kind and wait around to count down the final seconds of the previous year. Many places will set off fireworks as the year ends. New Year's Day is January 1st, and it is a holiday in many places around the world. It's often a time for families to come together and welcome in the new year. While we have finally settled on an official year worldwide, there are still many different ways to celebrate New Year's. Let's learn more about them. In Ecuador, New Year's celebrations feature the vibrant tradition of burning effigies known as Ano Viejo, or Old Year. These effigies, often made of paper, cardboard, or fabric, represent the past year, including challenges and mistakes. Many families create these figures to look like famous people, political figures, or even personal symbols of things they want to leave behind. As the clock strikes midnight, the effigies are set ablaze in a dramatic and symbolic act of letting go of bad energy and making way for new opportunities. This fiery ritual is often accompanied by fireworks, laughter, and resolutions, creating a spirited and hopeful start to the new year. In the United States of America, one of the most iconic celebrations happens in Times Square, New York City. Every year, millions of people gather in person or watch on television to witness the ball drop at midnight. This tradition dates back to 1907, and the ball itself has transformed over the years from a simple iron and wood structure to a stunning illuminated sphere covered in thousands of Waterford crystal panels. There will also be a big music concert held in the final hours of the year as modern music stars perform to the shivering audience. It is popular to wear glasses with the year on them and to dress in shimmery clothing. In Spain, it's customary to eat 12 grapes at the stroke of midnight, one for each chime of the clock. Each grape is meant to bring good luck for 1 month of the coming year. It sounds simple, but it can be a challenge to keep up with the clock. In some regions of Ghana, people participate in the Aboakyer festival, a ritual to honor the ancestors and ask for good luck and prosperity in the coming year. Additionally, many people in Ghana engage in the practice of cleaning their houses as a way to symbolically sweep away bad luck and start the year fresh. Many people also celebrate by attending church services where people pray and give thanks for the past year while seeking blessings for the year ahead. Traditional drumming, dancing, and music are often part of the festivities, reflecting the vibrant cultural heritage of the country. In Greece, a unique New Year's tradition involves hanging onions on the front door as a symbol of growth and renewal. Onions, with their ability to sprout new life even after being uprooted, represent resilience and the promise of fresh beginnings. This ancient custom ties to the Greek belief that in starting the new year with hope and positivity. Often, families will combine this tradition with another, waking children on New Year's Day by gently tapping them with the onion, symbolizing a wake-up call to embrace the opportunities of the new year. In Mexico, one of the more playful New Year's traditions involves grabbing an empty suitcase and taking a walk around the block. This custom is believed to manifest travel opportunities and adventure in the coming year. Families and friends often join in, laughing as they parade their suitcases through the neighborhood, dreaming of future journeys to exciting destinations. Some people even add symbolic touches, like packing small items representing places they hope to visit. In Japan, the New Year is celebrated with a tradition called Oshōgatsu, a family-centered holiday that focuses on reflection, renewal, and preparing for the year ahead. Temples across Japan ring their bells 108 times on New Year's Eve to symbolize the purification of worldly desires and sins, according to Buddhist beliefs. Families also clean their homes thoroughly, prepare special meals, and visit shrines to pray for health and happiness in the new year. In South Africa, there is a unique tradition of tossing old furniture or appliances out the window as a symbolic gesture of making room for new beginnings. This practice is often associated with the start of the new year or during significant life changes, such as moving into a new home. The act of discarding old items represents letting go of the past and embracing fresh opportunities. It's seen as a way to get rid of one's negative energy and to make space for positive changes, both physically and mentally. In Brazil, millions of people dress in white and gather on the beaches to celebrate the new year. They toss flowers into the ocean as an offering to Yemanjá, the goddess of the sea, in Afro-Brazilian religions, hoping for her blessings in the coming year. Fireworks light up the sky and the celebration continues with music and dancing well into the night. One of the most well-known New Year's traditions in Scotland is Hogmanay, which includes the custom of first footing. The first person to enter your home after midnight is believed to bring good luck for the year ahead. Traditionally, the first footer should be a dark-haired male and often brings gifts such as coal, shortbread, or whiskey to ensure prosperity. In Denmark, a unique New Year's tradition involves jumping off of chairs at the stroke of midnight. This playful act symbolizes leaping into the new year with good fortune and happiness. It's a fun way for families and friends to join in a shared moment of optimism as they welcome the year ahead. Along with this quirky custom, many Danes also enjoy smashing old plates against the doors of friends or neighbors. This symbolizes breaking away from the past and bringing luck to their loved ones. These traditions reflect the Danish spirit of joy, renewal, and togetherness during the New Year's celebrations. New Year's celebrations around the world are diverse, with each culture offering unique traditions to welcome the new year. Whether through fireworks, special meals, or symbolic rituals, these customs reflect a shared desire for renewal, good fortune, and community. But New Year's isn't just about celebration, it's also a time for reflection and setting resolutions. The practice of making New Year's resolutions dates back to the Babylonians, who would promise their gods to pay off debts or return borrowed items. Today, resolutions often focus on self-improvement, like exercising more, eating healthier, learning a new skill, or spending more time with loved ones. Research shows that while many people make New Year's resolutions, a significant number struggle to keep them. Studies indicate that about 80% of resolutions fail by the second week of February, often due to unrealistic goals, lack of planning, or loss of motivation. However, those who set specific, achievable goals and receive social support are more likely to succeed in maintaining their resolutions over time. A SMART goal is a special way of setting goals that helps individuals set clear and realistic goals. The SMART framework ensures that goals are well-defined and attainable by breaking them down into manageable steps. The S stands for specific. The goal should be clear and focused. The M stands for measurable. There should be a way to track progress. The A stands for achievable. The goal should be realistic and attainable. The R stands for relevant. The goal should align with your values or long-term objectives. And finally, the T stands for time-bound. The goal should have a set deadline for completion. If you set a SMART goal for your New Year's resolution, you will be more likely to master it. While many people struggle to keep their resolutions, the tradition itself is a reminder of our desire to grow, change, and make the most of the year ahead. The new year is about optimism. So even if you don't set or achieve your resolution, the hope the new year brings is still an important part of this time of year. Wow, you've watched a lot of this video. Thank you so much. Before we move on to the rest of the video, please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe. My New Year's resolution this year is to get monetized on YouTube and grow my small channel. But I can't do that without support from viewers like you. Thank you. And now back to the video. Father Time and Baby New Year are traditional symbols representing the passing of the old year and the arrival of the new one. Father Time is depicted as an elderly man with a long beard, often holding a scythe and an hourglass, symbolizing the inevitability of time's passage. He represents the old year, reflecting on the moments that have passed. On the other hand, Baby New Year is a youthful, optimistic figure, typically shown as an infant wearing a top hat and sash, symbolizing the fresh start and new possibilities of the upcoming year. Together, these figures highlight the cyclical nature of time, with Father Time bidding farewell to the past and Baby New Year ushering in the new beginnings. Another fascinating aspect of New Year's Day is the variety of foods believed to bring luck and prosperity. In the southern United States, eating black-eyed peas, greens, and cornbread is thought to bring good fortune. Each food symbolizes something different. black-eyed peas for coins, greens for paper money, and cornbread for gold. In Italy, people eat lentils, which are thought to resemble coins and symbolize wealth. In Indonesia, people often eat lontong, which is a type of rice cake during New Year. In Namibia, people often shared grilled meat called Braaivleis with friends and family, reflecting the importance of togetherness. People in Argentina are also a fan of grilled meat for New Year's. They eat something called Asado. They also enjoy desserts like pan dulce and Turrón. In Egypt, New Year celebrations often include stuffed grape leaves, symbolizing abundance. In Abu Dhabi, New Year's celebrations often feature dishes like lamb, Ouzi, and meze platters. Every country has its own unique way of celebrating New Year's with foods. In many cultures, round foods such as cakes or donuts are eaten to represent the completion of a cycle and the hope for a full and prosperous year. My family is Czech and always told me to eat sauerkraut and kielbasa growing up, but I don't actually like either of those. Sometimes I will still take a small bite of sauerkraut just to humor them. Now, while most of us focus on the calendar year that begins on January 1st, it's important to remember that different cultures follow different calendars. For example, the Chinese New Year follows the lunar calendar and typically falls between January 21st and February 20th. The celebration lasts for 15 days and includes traditions like the lion dance, red envelopes filled with money, and elaborate feasts with family. Similarly, the Jewish New Year, also known as Rosh Hashanah, is observed in the fall and is a time of reflection, prayer, and the blowing of the shofar, which is a ram's horn. No matter where or how it's celebrated, New Year's is a time of hope, renewal, and connection. It's a chance to let go of the past, embrace new opportunities, and look forward to the future with optimism. And while the traditions may vary, the spirit of the holiday remains the same, a celebration of time, of life, and of the human desire to grow and thrive. So while we prepare to ring in another year, take a moment to reflect on the year that's passed. What were your highlights? What lessons did you learn? And what are your hopes for the year ahead? Whether you're counting down the seconds in a crowded city square, enjoying a quiet evening with loved ones, or setting goals for personal growth, remember that the new year is a blank slate, a chance to create new memories, reach new milestones, and make the most of every moment. Thank you for spending time with me today. I hope you learned something new about New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with friends and family. Teachers and homeschooling parents, if you're teaching your kids about New Year's, be sure to check out the link in the description for more educational resources. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to get messy and make lots of mistakes today and for the year to come. Bye!